In this video, we're going to talk about home buying contracts, different agreements and documents that you're going to run into during, your home purchasing journey. Going to go over 6 different agreements and disclosures that you'll run across. Number one is going to be the purchase agreement. This is going to be the cornerstone of the entire transaction. In this purchase agreement, it outlines different details that are very important to what's going on. For example, a description of the property. It talks about the purchase price. It clarifies what the down payment amount would be and any earnest money amount that would be placed in escrow. It goes over all of the financing details that are involved in the deal. Any contingencies that you might have, for example, like an inspection, financing in general, and appraisals. These details on that, whether that is going to occur or not, it would be in the purchase agreement as well. It lets you know what a closing date that has been chosen and agreed upon by the seller and the buyer, and also gives a detail of what the seller's responsibilities are as well. The second document that you can come across in a real estate transaction and agreement is the seller's disclosure. So the seller's disclosure is pretty much a document that outlines any type of issues they've had in the house before, it basically outlines the known conditions of the property. Documents any type of known defects or issues with the home, again, past or current structural problems. It documents that any environmental hazards like lead paint or asbestos in the home, that is supposed to be disclosed in this document. Any pest infestations, that is also included in that. And again, just a history of, any type of repairs or improvements that have been made to the home prior up to this point. So that's what the seller's disclosure is for. The third one is the home inspection agreement. Now, again, this is something that I've talked about in a couple of other videos as well. This is something that you want to do if you're purchasing a home. The home inspection agreement, it establishes a date and time that the inspector is going to come out there. It goes over, what areas are going to be inspected within the home, the foundation, the roof, the plumbing, the electrical. It, details that, lets you know how much that fee is for having that professional come out there and do that service. It also lets you know what type of limitation and exclusions may be involved in the inspection. And yeah, that's pretty much the bulk of what that is. These are things that you'll get in paperwork and you'll get in writing. Usually at the end of, the inspector doing his job, at some point he will send over a document giving you a list of the things that he found that may be faulty or things that you want to keep an eye on. And if you go to the inspection walkthrough, which I also recommend, you'll see firsthand what the professional saw. And usually he can break things down for you, let you know, how serious of an issue that could be, if there is an issue. Number 4 is going to be the mortgage loan agreement. Now, this agreement is going to detail the loan amount, interest rate, your repayment schedule, the loan terms that you've agreed to. It gives you details on escrow requirements in regards to like taxes and insurance as well. Any type of prepayment penalties, if that is involved in your loan, it gives you documentation of that also. It's crucial for, any buyer to review these documents because you're dealing with finances. And some of, this pretty much is, it's involving your life, your money moving forward. If it takes you, most people, get loans between 15 and 30 years. These are things that you want to know well ahead of time and, really be responsible and take into consideration when you're buying the home. Number 5 would be title insurance policy. This is another document you'll run into. Title insurance protects the buyer and the lender from any defects or issues with the property's title. So it's important that this is taken care of. This is why title is involved in home purchases. This document here for the policy will include coverage amounts, your premium amounts, any type of conditions and exclusions that are involved in that, the date that it's effective, any other additional policy terms. All of this stuff will be in writing, and you typically get a copy of this. And this is something that you can always ask questions about if you're not completely knowledgeable about what's going on when it comes down to the title insurance. And lastly, number 6 is your closing disclosure. This is a document that will also need to be signed pretty much before you get your keys. It's usually done about 3 days before the actual closing date. It lists any type of closing costs that are involved, loan terms, the payment schedule for the loan, any type of details that are involved with escrow. They are included in the closing disclosures, and also your loan estimate comparisons as well. This is something that you'll get, again, before you get your keys. It's important to read over this just like you would read over all other documents that need to be read and reviewed and signed during the home purchase. These are all important. Make sure you don't skip over it. If you ever have issues understanding it, make sure you reach out to your real estate agent or your mortgage lender or someone that, within title, for example, if you have, any type of communication with them, they can kind of explain some of these if you feel like you're lost in the process as well.